I suppose it's what's it called, evening dress. Melancholy by the foreign affairs, you know,
to the job. That's
Hello.
yo, hey, how y'all doing? This is the one and only Mr. Edman, and I'm proud to bring to you the one and only Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Hello. Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
If you can hear us, put it in the chat. If you can hear me, put it in the chat. We ain't testing the microphones.
No. Go
This ain't testing the microphones.
Just talk.
Because if you can hear me,
Just talk.
I'm talking to you.
No, keep
What you
on.
talking to?
I'm telling you to keep on.
What you talking about, Willis?
This is Qiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Edman.
See that?
I gotta come up with a see that gang sign. I gotta come up with a see that gang sign. Or
People, and you know we live.
What's cool?
I'm coming up with a see that gang sign. You're gonna be throwing it up too. Don't be mad.
Gangster. Baby.
And if you don't know, now you know.
I'm throwing up the see that gang sign, y'all.
I think I'm going to just take this posture off. Tiffany said, I hear y'all.
I know she can, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good morning.
I want y'all to vote on the see that gang sign.
I want you to be focused. I'm okay. Listen, it's stuff that's going wrong, and then we got him just like distracted. I just need him to focus just a second.
The see that gang sign. I need y'all to vote on the see that gang sign.
going to have my yoga instructor. For those who are tuning in, she said, Brother John is too low. I can barely hear.
Hey, talk up.
So, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
See, that's what's wrong with yoga right now. Can't nobody hear him.
Can't nobody hear me. But for those who can hear me, because she said she can barely.
Barely.
That don't mean nothing at all.
Barely a bridge
I
and,
mean,
and Biscayne Bay. So today we would like to start this show off with our disclaimer. The views expressed are of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and not 99 Gems, Care Festival, or its affiliates, or underwriters, or anybody else.
That's right.
If you got a problem, call us.
Thank you. How's that? Did the microphone change help, Tiffany? I appreciate that. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you.
I hope it ain't nothing in there,
Yes.
but just allergies.
Yeah. It's a little funky in there, but don't worry about it. It'll be all right. Hey, so
Okay. It is a struggle out here.
today is the second day of Black History Month,
Okay.
and-
How about now?
and for y'all, I would just like to share a Black History fact.
Okay.
Most of all purported Black people in these United States are actually indigenous to the nation. During the Reconstruction and the Indian treaties, many Africans or purported African Blacks were actually listed as natives on the American census. And they were so blatant with erasing this, you can see them cross out indigenous on the census rolls. So they were so unsophisticated, right? They were so unsophisticated, and they crossed out the indigenous roots of many of us,
Okay.
right? And then they got us to say, okay, we were Afrocentric, and it's all right because you can be one of all things, right? And it ain't got to be one. But the truth is, they hid our indigenous roots because of the treaties that were signed and the agreements that were signed, and they picked 5 indigenous tribes.
Okay.
They call them the 5 civilized tribes. And you wonder why they picked only 5 tribes, right? There were 200, 300 tribes in Florida alone. Why did they just pick 5 tribes? Because these 5 tribes cooperated with the system. These 5 tribes that you know today, the Issaquah, Iroquois, and y'all can name them all.
I cannot.
I can't. But the reason that they, because of their fair skin tone color, right? Because remember the paper bag test? See, a lot of those 5-cent Indians happen to pass the paper bag test,
Okay.
right? And what they have now is a stolen legacy. And into this day's Black History moment with Mr. Ed.
Thank you very much for that Black History moment with Mr. Edmund. And work out what you work out over there. It did not work
He ain't
out.
working none of that?
They say they can hear me good.
Yeah, and I can hear us in there.
No, it's
And they-
something else over here. Like
Okay.
there's nothing. So y'all just
Okay.
keep on,
That's what we
keep
really doing.
on, keep on, and then
Well,
we
you
got
keep
our
on
wonderful.
keeping on too.
We got our wonderful.
We're not gonna even give them no acknowledgement.
No, but you know the beauty is because
Black
we
is
don't go
beautiful?
looking for them; they come looking for us.
What Black is
So,
beautiful?
like
No, we just got some YouTube fans.
Yeah.
Oh, but this is the thing
Thank
about
you very
YouTube. Let me
much.
tell you
I
about it.
appreciate y'all.
YouTube is a closed loop of haters. So closed loop is they just in their own atmosphere hating,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And then it's an emotionally charged area. So when they love you, they love you,
Yeah.
right? But right now, while they trying to pick on you and have fun,
Yeah.
thank you for the comments.
They said, if you say so, buddy. Blacks are not native to Americas.
Wait a minute, hold on. Says the immigrant. Did you know that the forefathers of this country were immigrants who understood their immigration status? What you mean, Jabbar? They understood their immigration status. They got together and wrote laws and rules to cement their immigration status in a country that wasn't theirs.
Yeah.
They call it the Constitution. Hey, come on, call in, get on the phone.
Yeah,
I want you to call
What you
in.
got?
Hot box with me.
we
Spreading-
know nobody calling
Spreading false
we not.
information.
We
That's
can't.
another
We probably won't be able to hit them.
Yeah.
But if you can try 727-637-2416.
Yeah, call in with your
but
comments.
how was y'all weekend?
I had an uneventful weekend. Yeah, it wasn't too much going on this weekend for me. the cold and the weather, and then
It feel good.
Yeah. No, I do feel good, especially in the house.
It kind of threw you off a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
Duke Energy say cut your energy off.
We're gonna talk about
we're
that.
We're talking about the weekend.
Yeah.
Jabbar Steak. Come on.
That's what I seen this weekend.
We're gonna do. Can we do one topic at a time?
That's it.
So how was your weekend? Not what Duke said this weekend. The question on the floor.
Okay.
How was your weekend, Mr.
I know you went to the Youth Alliance.
Oh, I did. It was good. It was great. They had amazing turnout, powerful to see so many kid business owners thriving, actually being successful in the work that they're doing. I think it's a underrated event. I think that event should be in the Coliseum. That event should be in Tropicana Field.
Yeah.
That's how big it is, right? Watching these children talking about they got a business they done had 3 to 5 years and they 14.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And you just your 3rd year in business and you 14.
You got 40-year-olds that don't make it 3 years.
Exactly. That's one of the things that you got 40-year-olds that don't never open a business, right? Like the business ownership is like very small percentage of general population and even smaller of children. And they're not doing lemonade stands. He's doing nails and hair and bouquets. The one kid had a clothing line.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You posted some.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know, I do my thing when I can because I can. I do what I can when I can.
Yeah.
And the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I do what I can when I can. I do what I can when I can.
Yes.
And a big shout out to Dally Boy, his wife, everybody that was involved. It was an inspiration for me to even see it. I thank y'all so much because I know if it impacted me as an adult, I understand what these kids gonna call normal. See, these kids in that room, they're gonna have a view of life that average kids don't have, right? Because they're looking and seeing themselves as business owners and entrepreneurs, and then the people saying, "Hey, what you want to do next? Where your business at? What's your business idea?" And showing them the tactics and the ways. What does this mean? Okay, what does compound interest mean?
Ooh.
These people, they laid it flat.
Financial literacy program.
They laid it flat,
and they helped them. They opened up bank accounts with them,
they laid it flat.
And everything. And then they followed them throughout the year. So this is not like a one-time seminar that they do. This was the ending of what they did all year long. So now they'll do so now there's mini camps throughout, and then I know that people book them to come out to different programs so that they can come out and give the information. So kudos to them. Yeah. And then you also at
Robinson.
I was about to say that's what we was going to go next. Okay. Go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah, so STEM Saturday at Charles Park. Shout out to Raphael and Amber Robinson and the Eddie Foundation. Did an amazing job. My daughter took my grandchildren over there, and they had engineering focus this time, and it was a lot of just how things work. They went out and shot up some rockets up in the air, outside, and it was great. So again, just continuing to create these opportunities and spaces for them to be exposed to things that they might not otherwise see. So it was great. Yeah, that was it for me. And then yesterday, just kind of chilled out. Literally
I woke up this morning and there was ice on my car. Like
same
chunks of ice all over the whole car.
So let's talk about it because they said it's Florida ain't really, it's been a little un-Florida this year. So we're in the middle of a legit weather pattern. We're not shoveling snow or nothing that it ain't that cold, but they saying today is going to be sunny but cold. Highs will be in the mid 50s, and then tonight there'll be clear skies. Temperatures will be dropping to the low 40s, which is cold enough to feel it in your bones. So make sure that you button up. And then I think Tuesday and Wednesday is when the gradual warm up supposed to happen. The high is supposed to come back into like the low to mid 60s, but it'll still be cold in the mornings. And then later in the week, they're saying that it'll be more typical Florida winter weather.
It's supposed to rain on Thursday too.
I don't know if that's going to drop it again. But what they're saying is that it'll be highs near 60s to low 70s. So it'll be warming up, but it'll be warming up slowly. And so there was no snow accumulation, they were saying, because that was kind of the big talk. Will it be slow? But there was a very slim chance of snow flurries. Did you see any snow flurries where you were? Let us know.
No, not where I was at. I didn't see any. So
Okay, and now what Mr. Edmond was saying, Duke Energy.
Go ahead.
Duke Energy. So
Dirty
Duke said, please reduce energy use on today during peak demand. So the strong cold front with wind chills in the teens and low 20s is leading to a high energy use across Florida. As a result, power supplies are limited. Duke say they take every possible action to manage the available power supply and work throughout the year to prepare for this type of constraint. Energy conservation can play a critical role to protect the energy grid from damage and avoid possibility for temporary power outages. Now, this is what Duke is asking us to do, y'all. You ready? You can help by cutting back on energy use today between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Set your thermostat to the lowest comfortable setting and put on additional clothing layers in your house. Electric space heaters may provide comfort but use a lot of energy, so avoid their use until temperatures rise. Avoid using your electric washer and dryer and dishwasher during winter's high demand hours in the morning.
Everything you pay for. Everything you pay for.
Like, and then honestly, like, why you said that? So can we say, hey, during this hard time when ain't nobody making a whole bunch of money, we would like if you reduce our bill.
Let's talk about that part of the equation.
And this is the thing. I'm tired of seeing these doggone commercials about how we need Duke. They investing and got people knocking on doors. We don't need you.
Yeah. We can actually do it.
We can actually do it without you.
Yeah.
And just start with lean in with the facts.
Yeah.
Let's not lean in with fear mongering.
Oh,
because that's really what they do. If the city runs it, you may get unexpected bills. I get unexpected bills now.
And they're constantly going up. And I think it would be advantageous for us to invest those dollars into our city's infrastructure and not a corporate company outside of the state.
Yeah.
And now, what you gonna say?
Yeah.
And Duke ain't that friendly when as far as
when you need a little bit of love.
When you need a little love, no. And then
I was gonna say something, man.
And when you they like most people may like kind of help you out. No, they cut that in half, and you better pay. I don't care if it's $1,000. You got $500 this month plus your bill, and another $500 the next month. Like they don't spread it out like to give you like. They say, "Give me my money. I don't care," and then send us out messages saying, "Help us."
Well, the mayor on council, he actually did a resolution.
Give him Duke Day.
Giving Duke Day. Yeah, they did a Duke Day.
And see.
I was so upset with that one. I ain't get upset about a lot of them, but that one happened.
Well, see, I got so much to say. I'm controlling myself.
All right.
And I put my mask on.
Let me tell y'all what else Duke wants you to do in order to help them, to help us.
Okay.
Help them help us. Hey, man, them dirty dogs. Listen, we taking Duke Day back. Hey, we taking Duke Day back. We taking it back. The citizens of St.Pete, Duke, we're reclaiming our day.
We revoking that day. They also said open your blinds and curtains during the daylight hours to help warm your home up naturally. Avoid using an electric oven or stovetop during periods of peak demand. Now, hold on. You know that's how black folks heat their house up, right?
Yes.
You turn the oven on, open it up.
They're attacking our culture.
Yeah, they're attacking
the culture. They're attacking our culture now.
That's funny.
See, hold on, let me take my jacket off because I'm getting hot, dude. Y'all attacking our culture. That's part of my culture to turn the oven on, to put the water on the stove and let the water boil. Come on, man. What you talking about, Willis?
They said turn off unnecessary appliances and lights.
How about cut off unnecessary power companies?
Yeah. Avoid charging electronics in the morning. For those with electric vehicles, charge midday when demand is lower. They say they recognize that reducing your energy use, especially when temperatures are well below normal, is challenging. And we appreciate your assistance and understanding.
Yeah.
Understanding for doing
no understanding. They would have had to pay me $5,000 to read that article. They would have had to they would have had to underwrite the show with two doggone underwritings.
No, I have zero understanding for this.
Wow.
Hey, I want to hear the comments. What y'all think about Duke out there?
Yeah.
Put your Duke comments. We talking about Duke Energy and the highway robbery they doing to us every year.
Yeah. And would you?
They say, Tiffany say, child, as much as they charge, whatever.
For real.
For real.
Charlie Funk say that's only our culture because we're used to not having central heating and AC.
That's real now.
That's right.
That's why I say that's our culture. And then I want to hear the YouTube haters. Where y'all at?
Yeah.
I need to because I was gonna say I need to hear something.
Yeah.
You got something to say about everything else because Duke sticking it to you too.
Yeah.
See now what? You ain't got nothing to say about that, huh? Cause your Republican Party is part of it, huh?
The universal stick it to her.
They sticking it to us all. Let's band together.
All right, so with the 2 minutes we got left, I do have a would you rather.
All right, go ahead. Would you rather?
So the would you rather segment is brought to you by Jarish Martin LLC.
In 2 minutes. I like that. I like how you sleep that in.
Yeah. Now we're gonna do it. So would you rather be remembered as a parent who provided stability or one who inspired courage? Would you rather be remembered as a parent who
both
provided stability,
both, or
one who inspired courage?
Both.
Put it in the chat.
Both.
I mean, ideally you want to do both, but I want to I'm gonna say courage.
Okay.
Stability, you really need it, but I think you can, because we can't say both. I sound like Mr. Edmund, right? But I believe that children need like a sense of courage and to believe that they can accomplish anything. And when you take the creativity away from them, you stifle them, in my mind.
Okay.
You know, the children are our future, and how are we gonna, move forward if they're not encouraged?
Okay. So I go with courage too. I choose courage. And it's interesting because I just posted that positive personal change cannot happen without courage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you inspire them to be courageous, then they'll take chances that would lead to their stability. Right?
I think so too.
Yeah. So yeah, I would inspire courage.
You say stability.
Okay.
What you saying, Jabbar?
Both.
Come on, we got to choose one. It's would you rather?
I would rather be both. I'm because I'm an inspiration and a stability.
Both.
And then I can't not pick. I'm talking about in my real life. I ain't playing this game.
So that's what we'll do. We'll take a break and we're just gonna end the would you rather segment with no rules. We just gonna we don't do this. We don't do would you rather no more.
Right, because we're done with it.
Yeah, that's a thing. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all in 6-7 minutes after the hour. We'll be right back with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
United States than at home in India. It's not what you'd expect.
Hello, I'm Gabe Ortiz, and this is WEDU Arts Plus. Based out of St. Pete, the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is a morning radio show about hip-hop life and urban culture. Meet the hosts who inform and empower their listeners.
I'm Jabbar Edmond. I go by Mr. Edmond. My role, I'm a host and I'm co-founder.
My name is Brother John Muhammad, Your Brother John, yourbrotherjohn.com. And my role on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is host or co-host.
I just go by Qiana. Sometimes you may hear the guys call me Q. I may say Q just depending on my personality that day. And I'm the female of the crew. I think I keep balance when you look at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So that's my role.
And I'm Bruce Moore Jr. A lot of people do know Bruce Moore Jr., obviously being born and raised here and going to school here, but there's many more people that know Reno.
St. Pete is small, and so the good things and bad things that come with a small city, you know, everybody knowing each other, of course, would be one of the pluses.
My neighbors were not only just my neighbors, they became my family.
Trying to put that back now, like really getting back to a place where we know our neighbors and we look out for each other. It was a St. Pete that existed, you know, south of Central, and then there was another St. Pete that existed north of Central and downtown. It was a struggle then, and I think it's still, you know, somewhat a struggle for Black people in the city of St. Pete.
Even with every step of progress we make, it's still a struggle to, implement that progress.
Did y'all hear about the weed college, the first cannabis college?
In Orlando.
Talk to us, Soprano.
Yeah, I've been looking at it.
This is serious, y'all.
Over a year ago.
If you got the charges, go and get the degrees, King. You got years of experience, man. It ain't like you come into a classroom with no data.
Elon Musk said that a drug dealer knows how to manage and run a business better.
I can't believe that.
The real facts, man.
I'm all about education. But what I'm saying is that we carry this industry on our backs.
The way we started the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, Jabbar approached me about what could we do, how can we do something together, and then an opportunity to promote Amendment 4. Amendment 4 is the, voting rights restoration to returning citizens. We were able to negotiate a deal where we got like 30 minutes on the radio, got 99 jams to talk about, Amendment 4 and other local, policies.
Made them second guess going out tomorrow and covering what's happening in their communities, then yeah, I would say that that was probably the intent.
We'll speak with Georgia Ford after headlines. In more related news, 5-year-old Liam Conejo Ramos and his father reunited with family members in Minnesota Sunday after they were released from an ICE family jail in Texas amidst mounting pressure from activists and elected officials. Texas Congressmember Joaquin Castro shared footage on social media as he welcomed Liam and his father, Adrian Conejo, outside ICE's South Texas Family Residential Center in Dilley and flew them home to Minneapolis. Liam and his dad were detained in a suburb of Minneapolis last month.
Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
And this is Qiana.
I'm the one and only Mr. Edmond.
This program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka CDAT.
See
that.
I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in and helping us to redefine what's cool, because smart is
the new
gangster.
Baby.
And if you don't know,
now you know. No. And one thing that you might not know, but you're gonna soon find out.
I can't hear you.
The Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is an independently produced program. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by hosts, guests, or callers are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, positions, or policies of Carafesta Radio, 99 Jams, its ownership, its management, affiliates, or sponsors. Look, I'm going to do it like this here, like I used to do my old school press conferences. See if that'll get me something.
No, you were good where you were at.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you very much. So take that, put that back, and let's keep this party going, y'all. Good morning, Miss Teresa. I see you. UB, I see you. That's so Stephanie. What's good? Y'all stay warm, man. And so, yeah. Politics with Mr. Edmond. What you got, Mr. Edmond?
Oh, man. It's a lovely day. It's a lovely day in St. Pete and the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I got nothing, but we do have a city budget coming up.
So let's talk about it.
17, 18.
Let me set it up then. If you ain't got it, I got something on that. St. Pete, they having a almost $18 million budget gap, and we want to talk about that. Ooh. There's been a lot of noise lately about St. Pete's budget. Headlines, hot takes, and finger pointing. Today, we're going to actually slow this down and really dig into it. So the city is facing an $18 million projected budget gap, not because the city's broke, but because the projected spending and the projected revenue don't line up. And so let's talk about the facts, context, and real scenarios so that we can really get into this thing.
So hold on. Yeah. So the spending and the income don't match. Right.
Yes.
So the money coming in versus the money going out don't match.
That's correct. That's a gap. Yeah.
So when I do that,
they thought they was going.
When I do that in my house, I say we broke.
Okay. So all right, well there you have it. So a budget gap basically is when you thought you had more money than you actually got, and now you got to figure out what you're gonna cut. So the city is reported to spend about $18 million more than it is expected to bring in this next fiscal year. It's not a debt. Again, it's just like realizing that your household expenses are higher than what your paycheck was before the year started, which gives you some time to adjust. And so that's where they're at. They're in adjustment mode right now. What happened was the revenue did not keep pace with the spending. Property values went up, tax bills went up, but service demand, staffing, and other costs rose faster. So inflation also hit the cities hard. Fuel, labor, contracts, and supplies. Staffing growth is also a part of the conversation because since around 2019, the city added 350 plus positions. Only about 65 of them were first responders, as highlighted in the Doge report. Mm-hmm. And so the debate isn't about whether or not these jobs are useless. It's just saying whether or not the city can afford the size of the government it's built going forward. So that's the question. How do you decide which jobs are essentials and which times? How do you decide which jobs are essential when times get tight?
I first would cut law enforcement. That'd be the first budget I go after.
Can't do it legally though.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida law.
So what I do is get creative and tell the chief to help short my shortcomings on my budget and give me 18 million out here, or at least give me 9 million, and we'll rearrange some programming because they have an endless budget that's untouchable. Well, it's touchable. There's rules to touching it, but long story short, and then what I start doing aggressively is reducing some of these payrolls at the top. Right? I probably try to start taking. I hate to say this. I try to start hitting them for 10% or higher.
Okay.
At the roles at the top, and then after that, you know what I'm saying? We'll reduce.
You think people will take the cut or they'll lead?
I let them lead in.
Okay.
Because it's about the budget.
I'm gonna say, caller, you called in, but unfortunately we can't hear anything. So you're no calls today, unfortunately.
Yeah. We have some technical
anything.
You should have just let it ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, long story short,
have to type it or do something.
Put it in the chat, caller. Unfortunately, we're having technical difficulties where we cannot take calls this morning. So yeah, how do you decide which jobs are essential when times get tough? Mr. Edmonds said he would start with the police department and their budget. I guess with using the legal mechanisms, because you would have to, it's a process that you have to go through. If you cut more than, I think, like 5% of the budget, then it has to be approved, or they can appeal it to the state.
All you gotta do is get creative and go to the chief and be like, Chief, let's be creative with your budget. We have some shortcomings that we may can shift to your department. And shifting it to your department don't mean we have to cut your budget. You ain't got to go to the state. You can just absorb this new way of moving, right? Because they already put departments under the chief before, right? Let's be a little more creative. Let's look at, okay, how does housing impact safety? Oh, housing impacts safety a lot. Okay, chief, come on, help us with this housing department.
Yep.
Right? And then guess what? That frees up even more money to do it, right? Because they got 40-60% of the budget is in public safety, between the police chief, the fire chief, and whoever chief is in that public safety bucket.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then we expand it and show the chief that we just ain't doing this to him, that we're going to tighten our belt around staff. We're going to tighten our belt around wasted equipment. We're going to tighten our belt around wasted projects, or and actually start charging impact fees to some of these buildings.
Yeah, because there was two parts to this. So one of the things that they were saying was that you look at staffing with the, how fast the government grew. And so the examples that was cited in some of the reporting and public discussion included like the equity and inclusion leadership roles, cultural affairs and arts coordination roles, community engagement and liaison positions, recreation and event staffing, and then planning, housing, and redevelopment specialties. These were also some departments that came with program expansion. And the question is now, can these programs actually be sustained because of this budget shortfall?
Yeah. I look at like, let's say, just for example, the CRA department, right? We got the Southside CRA department, 4 or 5 people in the CRA department, right?
Literally LOL.
But you get what I'm saying? It's 3 to 5.
I'm laughing at the comment.
No, but it's 3 to 5 people in that department. Everybody probably get 100 ball, right? Okay. 75 to 100 ball. You know what I'm saying? That's a department that ain't been performing, right? The Southside CRA got $17 million that's rolling over because it's been underperforming. They haven't been getting the money out. It's been a lot of hiccups, right? So guess what? Your reward for your hiccups, we're gonna downsize this department, get y'all up out of here.
Now, I will agree with that. I would look at to see who are hitting the mark and who are not, and then
now, it don't even blink.
Right, because then this is a fair assessment, right? At this point, it's not like I picked you because I don't like you.
Yeah.
If you have a budget and your thing is to keep the youth safe and do programs, how many of the programs have you done? What is, the outcome? And then, what was the output and the outcome of all of it? I would then measure that. And then if you're not hitting the mark, then you got to go. Now, I would not cut the department, but then I would rehire at a lower rate.
And a more aggressive pace, right? Because when you shake up these departments and you shake this stuff up, I mean, I hate to say it, the city of St. Pete need to be shook up. The staff, right? It need to be a shake up, right? You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of city employees and partners and homeboys, and they tell me some stuff that they can't tell their boss. But some of them people that got them big salaries, they need to be shook up. You need to shake them out. Let's stop playing and stop trying to save everything and everybody while we're hurting the entire process. And then I guarantee you can take 10% of the city's payroll, top staff, and it'll probably be 70 to 80% of the entire payroll. The top 10, the top 10%.
Here's what I thought about it, and y'all kind of spoke on it a little bit. So one of the things when you talk about the CRA specifically is the fact that what they said was that because they only had 3 staff, that was one of the challenges in managing, because you got 3 people managing multiple.
Well, they got people for the job.
So they were saying that they needed more staff in order to get the resources out.
Right.
So if it's just like a checkout line.
No, that's narrative control.
Well, go ahead. That's it. I ain't got nothing to say. Go ahead.
No, and the reason I say that's narrative control, because if it's up to the staff, they'll have 100 people in that department. You'll continue asking for more. That's just like the police department. It's not 1 year crime go down and they don't ask for more money. So someone has to control it. Somebody's got to say, you know what? We can't just keep going endlessly up. y'all ain't been able to do it with your 3 people. Maybe y'all the wrong 3 people then. Maybe there's another 3
so
people.
Is it the wrong 3 or is it 2 now from what you're saying? I want to be clear because you said you would cut the staff. Are you saying you would just rehire new staff?
I'll start by looking at payroll. And then I'll start by looking at payroll. The highest payroll is the first ones I'll start looking at. Okay. And then the highest payroll, then I'm going to look at your performance. Okay. Your metrics, your performance, the goals, right? How the people talking about you, how the people feel. Because now if you check too many of these boxes, it's gone.
Okay.
Right? If your reports ain't good, you ain't been doing the job, and we having diminishing returns, snip. Because we're right now we're having a budget shortfall. Next year we're gonna go into what they call austerity. If not next year, the next year after that. Right? See, I call St. Pete broke because I was projecting, right? Because I don't study economy. I don't studied it a little bit. And I didn't look at this year. I projected it. And I said, if we continue on this path that we're on, we're going to enter into austerity measures real quick. And austerity is when you cut really bad, when it's really bad. So before we get there, I would start at the top, the people who most likely can afford the chop, right?
No, but again, so when you say that, I hate when like most people can afford the chop, right? Because I'm telling you, my salary is my salary, and I live off my salary, right? And especially if I'm doing my job, regardless if you agree or disagree with my salary, that is the salary that I live. You know what I mean? Yes. If somebody came in and just because I have a high wage, you said, oh, you can afford the chop. No, I can't afford the chop. Yeah. Like I can't. But what I would do on the opposite side of it, I wouldn't start necessarily with the highest salary. I'm starting with performance. Okay. It's strictly from at the beginning, it's for performance with me. If you're not, because if you're getting a high salary and you meeting all the marks, make your money. So
I think that would require too, now that you say that there are spaces and there are careers and places where you get performance incentives, right? Yeah. So you would take a lower base salary, and then if you meet certain metrics, then you get you get incentives that say, okay, yeah, if your job is to reduce you whatever, right? And if you reduce it by X%, then it's like, okay, good job, you did it for real. Here's an incentive. Here's a bonus. Like how they was giving out bonuses.
Then what I would say, they would be
for a deal that crumbled.
Yeah.
Or I would say no.
Did they get that money back?
I don't. We'll never know. But we'll never know. But what I would, but you know what I would do is there probably be no bonuses.
Okay. It definitely shouldn't be no bonuses.
No bonuses in this.
And I think a lot of that, them salaries being benefits too, like insurance and benefits, and a lot of that. Part of that too.
Yeah.
So I ain't necessarily, when I say salaries, what I'm talking about is maybe the top 10% of employees who make up the boatload of the budget, right? And the reason I wouldn't start at the bottom because I can cut 100 people and not affect 5 at the top. Mm-hmm. I can cut 100 at the bottom and not impact 5 at the top. Mm-hmm. So that's why I would start at the top, because then I can circle 5 and keep the 100 at the bottom. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the reason I say like they can afford it, I'm not saying they can afford it because everybody's life. I'm saying they can afford it because you have been drawing a huge salary for multiple years. Mm-hmm. You should have some cushion. You should have the exorbitant power that I know my 100 men at the bottom don't have.
But okay, so think about this, because that was kind of Trump motto, right? And he fired people at the top that was making salaries that he felt like weren't doing. And and then you saw the big ball of cluster that happened because you needed some of those people.
Yeah, you can't go. I mean, it's definitely a scalpel and not a sword. You come in that way with a sword. Like, you got to be strategic. And some of the other, this is what some of the council members were talking about. So there was a budget workshop on last Thursday. And what some of the council themes that were coming out of that workshop was that they want to protect core services, including public safety, permitting, and in the public works department. They also proposed a possible hiring freeze unless they were filling vacancies. And so not adding new positions, but just, freezing hiring. Also protecting public libraries, rec centers, and social services was another one that they were advocating for. And then also addressing the staffing pressure in parks, stormwater, and codes compliance. One of the other recommendations was use technology to help reduce the cost. Because a lot of these administrative roles can be replaced by, the artificial intelligence. That was something that was mentioned. And then maintaining environmental resiliency and tree canopy. And so one of the things what they were talking about was basically how can they keep the current level of services without cutting them under this. So not adding new services.
Yeah.
But how do you keep the current level of
But
services?
I will say
right
that I think some of these services probably can be cut or reduced.
Okay.
Some full-time positions can go to a part-time.
Okay.
Because you're doing part-time work anyway, right? For some of
No, that's real.
Like, I mean, if you're gonna cut up,
pay for doing part-time
work,
and not even truck. I don't see him sleeping in the office. I'm talking about at the top because I seen him sleeping in the office. And one of the top problems, but one of the top problems is we do have people drawing huge salaries doing minimum work. Okay. And we have to look at. I was on one of the council member pages, and they was talking about
okay.
Thank you for the work, for the staff. We can't do it without you, and we're gonna hold the line. We ain't gonna cut. We ain't gonna do this. And I that's good. That's noble. But that's not looking at it seriously. Because
Ms. Teresa, she said she gave some suggestions on what.
There's a lot of people, right?
She gave some history. Ms. Teresa said in 2008, during the recession across the country, we professional and management level employees had to take a 4% pay cut. Then there were 4 years of no pay increases. Then in 2012, there was a reduction in workforce, and me and several others were laid off. So it was gradual, basically. So you started with the pay cut, then there's no pay increase, and then eventually they ended up doing layoffs. LA Keys says, and please keep in mind to bring qualified people to the city of St. Pete, a salary has to attract talent. The city is not as attractive as Tampa, Atlanta, or other cities that provide more to live, work, and play.
And that's why we have to build our succession plan and build homegrown talent. Because you're right, it's hard to attract talent with measly salaries. But the problem is you haven't trained up the people so that they can take that slack, and that we don't have to do out of towners, right? We can literally help the economy here.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a part of the problem. A lot of our money is leaking out because a lot of these high paid or minimum wage employees don't live in this city.
Because you want me to tell
they can't afford it.
No, you know what it is that people who coming in from this different city see the gem that we are. It's the people here that don't value what we had. Like people keep on acting like St. Pete ain't the ish.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Tampa ain't got Nam Beach for real. You know what I mean? People come here to come. No, for real. They come here to go to the beaches. Yeah. Like you see all these high rises and sky rises coming up because everybody else in the world see the value of St. Pete except St. Pete.
Except us.
We all
except us.
Except us. We don't. Like, this is why we was in the Raised deal. We felt like we was the ugly girl that didn't deserve.
Yeah, leadership
like,
don't believe in themselves.
Like, you got
talking about believing me.
Like, if you look at us, like, it's so much value here in St. Pete, and everybody coming. This is what. Look at our roads. Look at where they popping up at. Yeah. Like, we got just as much as Tampa, if not more, when you look at it, the value. And
thank you for that, Q.
I just want to
I accept your compliment.
So let's talk about the next part of this equation is this the consideration for House Bill 201. So House Bill 201 is the bill that would eliminate most local property taxes on homesteaded homes. School taxes would remain. Homeowners could see their bills drop by more than half. But the cities would also lose major revenue sources. And so the question would be, if your property taxes went down, but the city services reduced and fees went up, do you think that's a fair trade? Would you be willing to pay less on your property taxes, but more for city services?
I think one of the issues is that it's a false it's a false equivalent because, like, and they said this a lot. These city governments have grown exponentially. They have grown like wildfire, out of control, because what they're doing is the city of St. Pete used to have a surplus every year. And that surplus, they used to pick nonprofits to help, do things for, and then they used to pay into the reserves with the surplus. That all ended around the Christman administration, right? Maybe Christman had one surplus and the rest was all, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I ain't trying to be factual on that. But what I'm saying is the city governments have grown so big that it needs to be reined in, because you're just taking our money and spending it as you will and not accounting for us, not accounting for the hardships we're having. And now that the Republicans are suggesting this, everybody down the Democratic line and liberal line and the other groups are all having a hissy fit, but you're not thinking about those people who homestead their properties. They need that break.
Yeah.
And that's not saying the corporation's not going to pay. See, that's why I say it's a false equivalent. You're trying to use those numbers to scare us, but I know the corporations have bought all the properties in my neighborhood.
That's the important thing, and I appreciate you be calling last week and clarifying that and making sure that we were clear. It's only on homesteaded properties.
Come on.
And so homesteaded properties are properties that people who
grandma own.
No, you live in them. Like you live in the house. It's owner occupied as the homesteaded property. So if it's a rental property, it wouldn't be exempt under this.
The condos are not going to be exempt unless the owner is homesteaded.
Yeah.
You only can homestead one property in Florida.
Right.
So the false narrative. That's why I say, that's why I was saying earlier, is the psychological games they playing with us. They try to keep us in fear, right? Mm-hmm. So then while we're scared, they can manipulate us into things that don't make sense.
Yeah. Here's the other pieces too, right? So there's like different suggestions or scenarios on how you can address the shortfall. So one of the ways is by raising taxes, right? Using the millage rate as a way to say, okay, we're going to raise taxes. That'll help close the gap. Another one is by reducing or pausing service. So you'll get slower response times, fewer programs. Another scenario is using reserves, which buys time, but it's not sustainable. And then the last one is growing revenue, like increasing tourism, business growth, and finding a way to not, as you always say, cannibalize the citizens.
I think so too. Like, I really do think that, again, we're not thinking outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could make up this gap if we're creative and stop feeling like, again, we just don't know our worth. Right. And then we have a lot of businesses that don't pay taxes. They were that were able to come in here, set up business. They're making millions of dollars.
Yes.
The bars downtown St. Pete. Okay, now y'all got to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's things that we can switch to where people are actually making money, that we do not have to impact our everyday citizens that's already struggling to make this gap.
And I'm going to say why that's going to be hard, because those are the campaign contributors. So the problem is going to be the campaign contributors are going to fight against any taxes that are going against their business.
Yeah.
So like the city of St. Pete, impact fees can be strengthened, right? Our building can be strengthened so that we can get dollars for every toilet bowl that's added to an apartment. There's ways to get this money, but the problem is the investors have invested in our elected officials, right? Already, they're already friends, having coffee and drinking beers together. So guess what? It's going to be absolutely nearly impossible without a revolutionary shift in priorities in the city of St. Pete, because we're going to pay for this. That's how they've been looking at it. That's what the Republicans said. That's what they said. You're looking for the citizens to pay for your lavish spending. And that's what's been going on. And the only reason we don't see it, because it's our party doing it. It's our guy that's doing it to us. It's the guy we voted in that's doing it to us. So guess what? We're just going to ignore it for another 5 years, 4 years. And guess what? We're going to be in austerity measures. It's going to get even tighter. The roads are going to be even worse. You get what I'm saying? So, and I think a lot of the spending got to be in-house. So when we do these roads, we got to hire local contractors. We got to hire local field, because that improves the economy. That infrastructure bill we need, that strengthens the economy if the money don't go out of town. Right now, it's all going to Riverdale and Waimama.
Right.
But okay, I'm good.
So, all right. So yeah, y'all keep your eyes on it. The budget cycle has just really started, and we're actually gonna do a watch party. I think we can do a city council watch party so you can see what the priorities for each council member was. Because they came in and they talked about, like, this is what matters most to me. This is what I want to do. So we'll do that. Also government shutdown. So there's actually a partial government shutdown that's right now as we speak. So as of February 1st, the federal government is partially shut down, not the whole government, but parts of it. And
I done came to the conclusion as many shutdowns we done had within it. This is their party time.
So you think they're partying with the
Listen, like they just like, let's take the shutdown. Let them think that we over here struggling and like we can't come up. They over there.
But the people really are struggling.
The people they not.
I know some people who through that last shutdown, they still ain't recovered from it. Like,
it's hard.
Like after you miss a few paychecks,
no, it's hard. It can bounce back once you get in the hole.
Yeah,
it is hard. Once you, it really listen. Been there, done that. Right.
And then you waiting for them to come back, and you making phone calls, and then.
But this is how
some people give you grace, but then Duke ain't on it. Duke won't give you no love.
Ain't no grace in Duke. We got you, Duke.
Like, I hate that we try to make this a Democrat Republican thing. No, this is just a power thing. This is a people thing, and like if you see that, like. When we look at politics, we talk about like this side is so bad and this side is better. No, they all kind of bad.
How Reno used to say, 2 wings on the same bird. And the partial shutdown basically happens when some federal agencies lose funding, but others continue. There's programs that are funded by mandatory spending or already passed bills that they'll keep running. Agencies whose funding has expired includes like they would furlough non-essential workers, reduce services, and delay processing and enforcement. And so it is. And then the second part of this, when they talk about the cause of it, Congress has failed to finalize funding for all federal agencies by the deadline. And the biggest sticking point that they said was funding for the Department of Homeland Security, particularly around ICE. The Senate did pass a temporary plan. But that's what the debate is. Do they need to go or do they need to stay?
No, they need to go.
They those who want them to go ain't voting to keep the government open until they agree to get them out.
And that's a sad part, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of issues they should be doing this about. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the American government is like $30-40 trillion in debt.
Oh my God.
Like an unimaginable number. A trillion years ago, it was a trillion seconds ago, it was dinosaurs, right? So now you talk about 40, right? We were talking about the city of St. Pete. The city of St. Pete is actually one of the best ran municipalities. It has a history of being ran good. Right now we're just in a deficit. But the history of this city has been ran so good. We had surpluses every year. And so what that means is, if you look at the federal government, they never had a surplus. It's always been a deficit. That's how bad it is. So what they were trying to do when I first started organizing was to prevent the city of St. Pete from going the way of the national government. I'm telling you, you was in the meetings with me, and they were trying to prevent the city of St. Pete from being ran how the government is ran, and they wanted to keep the good governance as far as the fiscal responsibility. And right now, we entering a dark time.
And so for this shutdown, who is affected? Mostly the people who are mostly not affected in this partial shutdown for now is Social Security, Medicaid, veterans benefits, SNAP and WIC are currently funded. And then active military duty pay is still going. Those who are possibly affected will include the Department of Homeland Security operations, immigration courts and processing, transportation oversight, some of the HUD functions, and then federal workers and affected agencies through furloughs. And so, so like it won't be as for those like who remember the SNAP and all of that was on the last one.
It won't be as bad.
It won't be as bad for them, but definitely keep your eyes on the prize. The congressional leaders are saying that the shutdown could be short-lived and possibly resolved within days, but there are temporary funding. Or a full deal could reopen agencies rather quickly. And so they still trying to work it out.
And see, you know how like you talk about like up top, you should have some cushion. They should have some cushion right there where they can pay their employees during this time right now, because that's really unfair.
I think they did that last time with some reserve. They paid somebody with reserves. Was it CDC or one of those? It was one of them agencies. I remember they used reserve to pay.
It's not enough.
Yeah, and I'm going to say the quiet part loud. Right, we shouldn't be even in this situation. We have a lot of pork barrel spending, a lot of special money that goes to people that are just campaign contributors.
Yep.
And they're talking about cutting everything else but that. That's the problem. That's like what we're doing in St. Pete. We talk about doing everything but raising the impact fees.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is on the list. But what the investors are investing in, right. That's the same thing with the United States. Everything is on the chopping block, but that pork barrel spending that's going to those special interest groups.
Right on. So you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We're right here on 99 Jams, the Berg, and we're getting into this government shutdown, St. Pete budget. And now I want to talk about the SNAP benefits update. So there was some new rules that started yesterday. Millions of Americans, including families, workers, and seniors who rely on SNAP to buy groceries each month. As of February 1st, again, yesterday, significant new rules began rolling out that changes that could change who qualifies for benefits and what's required to keep them. These are not small tweaks. They expand work requirements and could affect eligibility for several people. And so some of the expanded requirements, one of the main changes that happened yesterday, federal rules under the law, commonly referred to as the One Big Beautiful Bill, it expanded work requirements for SNAP recipients. Previously, only able-bodied adults ages 18 to 54 without dependents had to meet a work test to keep the benefits beyond 3 months. Beginning yesterday, the requirement now applies to adults ages 18 to 64. So they raised the age who do not live with dependent children age 14 or younger. So what recipients must do, they must work, volunteer, or participate in job training for at least 80 hours per month to remain eligible for benefits beyond 3 months in a 3-year period. Previously exempt groups, including veterans, people experiencing homelessness, and some caregivers, are now subject to these requirements unless they meet another special exemption. So basically, some SNAP recipients could lose eligibility if they do not meet the work requirement. And the Federal Congressional Budget Office estimates these changes could reduce benefits enrollment by millions of people over the next decade. What y'all think?
I mean, I think there should be some boundaries. You know what I mean? I'm not quite sure is that okay. If that's it. But it's out there now. So I mean, honestly, if you're able-bodied and you could go out there, look for a job, volunteer, do whatever you need to do. I mean, honestly,
what is 80 hours per month? Well, that's 20 hours a week.
Yeah,
that's 20 hours a week. So that'll be what, 4 hours a day?
Yeah.
You gotta do 4 hours a day somewhere, whether working, volunteering, or participating.
Y'all can volunteer with us
for 4 hours a day.
But if you do 20
you can volunteer with us.
But what'll happen is there's gonna be a lot of more volunteer, because if you go and get a job and you make the money, then you lose your benefits.
But see, this is the thing. But
you
see,
know what I mean?
But this is the thing.
Can't afford your benefits.
Poverty.
But this is the thing. And the goal is to get off of the assistance. Right. And I think what has happened, people have made it their way of life. And people, just like I'm gonna make it real personal. When I used to sell dope, I used to feel there was no other way for me to survive. I honestly, on God, believe I had to sell dope to make a living. And I know people who feel the same way about assistance. Right, because the selling dope was a form of assistance. It was like a supplement for real opportunity. Right, and that's what food stamps is. It's a supplement for real opportunity.
Hold on, let's pause right there, because also when you think about the economic impact of that, right? That's how Miami got built, right? On drug money.
No. Yeah, but yes, but you on my way, really?
Yeah. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's supplemental income.
Because that income that came in, it actually the drug money fueled wars in other countries. Right? We can't overlook that. And when you talk about SNAP benefits, when the benefits come in,
it's going to rich people anyway.
They're spending that money. They're spending those benefits at stores
instantly,
and the stores that benefit from those benefits are usually not in our community.
Yes, they're also investors into the elected officials, and that's why. Remember when there was a shutdown, and I said they ain't gonna shut them that food down.
Not too long,
but remember I kept saying that.
Yeah,
because I said they don't like the black people who use it.
Yeah.
But it's more white people that use it than black people. Yeah. But they don't like the black people that use
because
it.
Walmart was saying y'all need to come on back with these benefits.
Listen, you know not just Walmart.
Like we need
because there are some very healthy investors who have invested in that ecosystem, that supply chain. Right? It ain't just Walmart. It's a lot of people that's involved. Yeah. So the reality is, the goal is to get off of the assistance, y'all.
Yeah.
And it's like a joint. You pass. You just don't sit there and smoke the whole joint. Pass let's get in a position to where we can get the job and not be on the assistance. And then if the job doesn't come and you stay on the assistance, you can come volunteer for us. We'll help you with your volunteer hours. Right? Until the meantime. Because some people can't get a job.
No, but even if you do, but the only problem, because I'm with, like, you got to get off. I think you should eventually.
But what
happened is they don't make it easy for you. Like, I do believe there should be steps. Like, okay, I give you $500, right? Boom. Now, when you get this job that you can afford food, now I'm not going to take your stamps. I'm going to give you 6 months still with the $500.
You get a runway.
You get it. So, like, you can eventually, like, hope that you save.
Phase it out.
You start adjusting to this change.
And then, so in 6 months, instead of you getting $500, now you're getting $250 because you have a job. But I did give you some time to get it. But usually what happened is you get this job and now your $500 is $15.
Yeah.
And all you made was an additional, you brought in additional $100 depending,
And so now you make just enough to not. So you make too much to qualify for the benefits, but not enough to still pay your bills and handle your business.
Right. And so now you're stuck with, do I keep this job? Or do I go back?
Because if I lose the job, now I can keep paying my bills, because this job, that increase that I'm getting from this job is not enough for me to do what I need to do.
I mean, so just think realistically.
Too high to get over, too low to get under.
A couple of years ago when we did the stats, average people here was making, black people or black and brown was making $25,000 a year compared to the 70 to the 100,000 that whites was making, right?
Yeah.
And so just think, if I'm only making $25,000 a year and with no benefits and I have kids.
Oh yeah, you struggling.
I'm really struggling. So like we really need to say, like, I'm okay with the barriers, but there has to be a way to phase it out where we put them in a position where they don't have to come back.
And I'm gonna add, one of the problems is financial literacy and living outside of your means. So we don't want to talk about this.
Oh yeah, no, we gotta talk about that.
But I think a lot of times our dependency on social services and with food stamps is our dependency on living outside our means. We want to have some of the stuff that we can't necessarily afford. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Right. Because like I ain't a big WIC person. I think we don't need milk. I think the milk and the cheese is poisoning us.
Okay.
Right. But then who you to tell me, Jabbar? I need milk for my baby. I need cheese for mine. Okay, then keep your milk and your cheese, but just don't form a dependency on it. Just don't form, because I think that's what happened with humans. If you take care of a human too long, they get dependent on your help, and now they become dependents. You get what I'm saying? And then just like Qiana saying, you want to put, just like it's your brother or cousin who living in the house ain't paying bills. You don't want to just kick him out on his face. You want to ease him out. Get your job and push them out or put them in a better position. And I agree with that, because our government is not our brother. That's not Big Brother. He's not going to ease us out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's going to kick us. He's going to jump us on the head.
And then there's also another part of the change, in addition to the work requirements, is eligibility and documentation changes. So recipients may need to submit additional paperwork or verification of work and training to prove that they actually meet the new requirements. Some older adults, people with disabilities, and caregivers of young children may still qualify for exemptions, but those exemptions will be more limited. Also, there'll be new food purchase restrictions. In 2026, several states, including Florida, have adopted waivers banning certain foods like soda, candy, and some processed snack foods from being purchased with benefits.
That's important though.
Yeah, so that's another one of the things too. So
they're gonna change that though, because it's gonna stay in life. It's gonna stay in life. And
no, but I haven't people who got it. I know that they've been able to still purchase. So there is some like
they're saying it's a phased rollout. That's what it is. So maybe it ain't really hit all the way yet.
Yeah.
Because they have to figure out how to really do it and how to. I ain't gonna say what I was about to say.
Well, you know what? Because I know you want them to eat healthy, but I will tell you, I think that instead of phasing it completely out, there should be a limit
on what you can. I mean, that's
that's up. Yeah, like on it. So
you
like
done bought all the candy you can buy this month with your food.
Like you have it, and all you. It's gonna decline, and you just know you got.
No, it's all right. But it's all right. That's part of what I'm talking about. Understanding what you can afford and what you can't afford. You feel me? That's helping you learn it in a hard way. You know what I'm saying? I don't like a lot of stuff that Trump and them doing. Yeah. I don't like a lot of stuff DeSantis and them doing, but I definitely respect it. I definitely see the benefit that it comes to my community when you talking about getting them off of this stuff. I see it, and I ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm mad because it's happening. I'm being like, hey, y'all, let's prepare. Let's learn how to spend your money right. Yeah. Hey, y'all, that's why I'm saying we can help you get you some hours if you need some. Yeah. But guess what? That's only a supplement. We ain't planning for you to work with us and live with us. Right. We planning on you to get on your feet and move on. That's the whole principle.
So do you think that these requirements for SNAP is going to help people find jobs?
I don't think it's going to help them find jobs. It's going to help them learn how to sustain. It's gonna help them because jobs is hard. Yeah. Dog, I don't put in thousands of job applications, bro.
Yeah.
And from the outside, you'll say I don't want to work.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? From the outside, you'll say Jabbar, you know what I'm saying? I'm upskilled. You feel me? So that's why my best work is when I work for myself because I understand my value. And versus me putting in applications and all they see is the African name with a background. Right. And I don't even get an interview. So I understand it. I ain't saying them cutting these benefits are going to make people work because that's not true. Because the hiring is required for me to work. Yeah. And guess what? I've been out 20 years and maybe only had 2 jobs.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Out of a whole 20 years.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And thank God for, the team because,
been able to write
put me in the game. The team put me in the game. See, that's what I'm talking about, how we got to learn to survive. How we got one of my homeboys, like talking about his job and his, he got one of those fake diplomas from Pinellas County that nobody's respecting.
Okay.
Now he got to go and pay all this money in Pinellas College or St.Pete College for remedial education because the diploma he got ain't worth the paper it's printed on. And I told him, I was like, bro, you got to just open you a job, dog. You got to make your own job and then they'll come. Because if you keep waiting on them to hire you with that fake diploma, you're going to be very, very disappointed because I done put in thousands. I just put in 2 applications while we been sitting here.
Yeah.
See, I'm telling you how diligent I am.
Yeah.
While we been sitting here, I done put in 2 applications. Them people ain't going to call me. Yeah. It's just practice right now. I'm just having fun.
Right. And so we do, and we actually got our school board chair, Edmund, is going to be coming in, I think maybe later this week. And we can talk about that. I want to talk, you mentioned that fake diploma. I think
it's called the concordance diploma.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of it.
Yeah, we need to talk more about that.
And the reason they made it is because they want to appeal to that lawsuit.
And they're trying to just juke the stats.
They're trying to juke the stats. And I don't know if I'm going to be here when school board member Edmund come, but I want to send a message. Kill the concordance diploma in Pinellas County.
I hear you. And so, again, y'all, bottom line on the SNAP thing, even if you don't receive SNAP benefits, the changes could affect your family members and your neighbors. Local food banks and pantries will probably see an increase in demand. Workers shifting between part-time jobs, training and eligibility checks, all of that's going to be impacted. And again, if you got to try and do more work, that means your daycare cost and all of that stuff going to go up. And so we got to be able to look for the opportunities that come with these problems that are being presented and really band together. We're stronger together. I do have Ask Qiana.
Go ahead.
All right. Ask Qiana is brought to you by the One Community Grocery Co-op, ocgc.coop. Make sure that you go out and continue to support, become a member owner today. Dear Qiana, my partner and I have been dealing with some real financial challenges, and it's starting to take a toll. Every time we try to talk about money or how to move forward, the conversation turns into comparison. Who makes more? Who spends more? Who's to blame for what? How do we talk about these issues without always turning into a blame game? I want us to work through this together, but the finger pointing and tension is starting to feel heavier than the money problems themselves.
Ooh.
This is called maturity.
Okay.
I mean, it really is, but it is really hard when like you bring up subjects and then everybody want to do the name game. Who fault this? You really got to figure out at the end of the day, what are we going to do to solve it? Right.
Okay.
And I mean, it sounds so simple, but it's not. Right. The problem is we ain't meeting the mark. Now, how we gonna meet the mark? Are you gonna stop spending? Do I need to do something else? Like, you got to come up with a solid plan, but y'all got to be a team player together. And if y'all always working against each other and trying to blame somebody for the falls, y'all always gonna have the shortcomings because y'all together. So you only as strong as your weakest link, right?
Okay. And they're trying to figure out who the weakest link is.
Right. And so if you keep
I got something.
If you keep on going back, no, it's your fault. It's your fault. Okay, it's both our fault. Now, what are we gonna do to fix it?
But I gotta say this, and this is hard. It's hard to do a true accounting without going back and looking at it.
Okay.
And to some people, that's gonna feel like blame, especially when they're the ones spending all the money.
Okay.
And so that's why they want to say, okay, forget about the past and just let's start right now. But that doesn't help us because we're not taking the lessons from the past with us. So now we're losing wisdom and experience just so you don't have to hear about what you're doing wrong. Okay. And see, I done been in that position. I done been the right and the wrong on that side.
Yeah.
Where I don't want you to talk about what we did in the past because I want to move forward. But the reality is, if we're going to move forward with intention, we have to look at what happened in the past.
Yeah.
And then guess what? It's some blame back there.
Yeah.
And we got to get that. We got to get over that. We got to be like, you know what? I got to accept the blame and responsibility.
Yeah.
And now we can move on. Now, guess what? I probably ain't even got to bring it up ever again.
Yeah. I hear that. And I think I like, you know, where I'm finna go with this. Remove blame and look at responsibility only. Because when you start talking about blame, now I don't want to be blamed. But if I got a responsibility in this and I'm acknowledging my part that I'm playing, right.
But responsibility look like blame to people.
Yeah, it do.
I'm telling you.
It do.
I'm telling you now.
It really do. And that's what your point is about growth and maturity. Like saying, okay, looking at this scenario, looking at what happened, you're right. I should have came to you and said something before I moved that money, before I touched them dollars. But you know what I mean? Before I did what I did. Like we should have had a conversation beforehand before whatever that irresponsible thing that caused us to be in this space is. Or we just need to look at the reality of like what's our nice to haves and what's our must have.
And when you look at that, I mean, when you're looking at money, it's a hard conversation, right? A lot of times it can be. But then if you have a common goal that y'all know that y'all really have to set up a plan and say how we're going to get here.
Yeah.
And then you have, unfortunately, you're going to be uncomfortable sometimes to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
Like you can't buy shoes every week no more. Like, and you can't go drink beer every week either.
Yeah.
Like you buy your cake. It
Yeah.
takes discipline.
But drinking beer and buying shoes ain't the same.
No, it can't be because
if you drink that much beer,
you talking about reward system.
But if you drink that much beer,
you talking about mental reward.
Just think,
you buy that much shoes.
I buy $50. So let's say my shoes cost $50. I go there once a week and do it. You drink and you go and your
what a bottle cost? What bottle's going for these
$1?
No, but
$4.
You're eating.
I gotta do 10 bottles.
That's why you can't get up and go to work the next day. So that bill you drinking tonight,
it costs you more.
Yeah, this is 10x.
But then some people
you think it's $1, but it's really hours and wages.
So just think about people who buy that 6-pack and finish it in the day.
Okay.
Right, and then they go
on back
every
day.
Yeah.
Or half of it.
See, that's why they be arguing.
Yeah.
Arguing right here. Me drinking beer
in your shoes.
That's the whole argument. That's the time start right there. And nobody.
And we can't. So they need
like, I don't need to buy the shoes, and you
don't need to buy the
right? But I will tell you.
I need these shoes.
So we need a mediator. We need a mediator. We need a trusted mediator.
This ain't got nothing. But I will tell you, if I bring you an issue,
okay,
and this isn't me. Focus on my issue.
Don't bring up your other issue.
No, because you know what? No, I'm going to tell you. No, I'm so serious. And let me tell you why. Because when you had a problem, let's talk about your problem.
No, but I hear you know. You stuck in.
No, that's one of the rules of dialogue. So one of the rules of deliberative dialogue is you only handle one problem at a time.
Yeah.
I don't feel good when you do this. I don't feel good when you do this.
Yeah, it's a strategy. But it's a strategy. It's a strategy.
No.
It's called deflecting.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about my feelings because I
bring
it to you and I'm telling you that this is how I feel.
But since you bring that up, can I bring up my feelings?
Not until we finish mine. Let's address it.
See, this is what the letter talking about.
Yeah.
This is exactly what the letter talking about.
And you always do that. That's what
that's what the letter talking about.
I'm supposed to listen to you.
That's what that letter talking about. You won't listen to me.
You want me to? Because you only want to talk when I bring up an issue.
That's when it's time to talk. No. That's talking time. That's talking time. What you talking about?
Okay, I think take a look. You're right. It does take some dialogue. You might need another party, trusted mediator to help you work through it. Because a conversation, you can resolve a lot of things with a good conversation.
Yeah,
and listening to be heard and not to rebuttal.
Yeah,
like
that's her thing.
That's the thing.
That's her thing. You just trying to rebuttal me.
No, because people already have their rebuttals.
You right though. You right. It's like a freestyle. I remember it already.
Right.
Yeah, I do that, Mr. Teresa. Mr. Teresa said I can buy a whole pound of ground coffee for the price of one latte at Starbucks. I'm on that.
Boy,
I'm so on that. Look, that's what's this was brewed at the house, right?
Mr. Teresa, you see, you talking about what we talking about. That's what we talking about.
Yeah,
just the change in decision making that actually produces 10x.
Yeah,
10x been my thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah. I definitely took a page out of that because that's true. There's things that you can. You got to do that. They call them impact multipliers.
Yes, but it works, and that's what we talk about, Mr. Teresa. You spot on because that's why I stopped drinking coffee because I was spending $600-700 a month on that junk.
Yeah,
think about $3-5 times 30.
Yeah,
whatever that number is.
You run it. All right, so we got a couple minutes left. I definitely want to give a shout out. So tonight is Fusion 49th District meeting. It's going to be a lot of updates that's going to be coming out. This is our first meeting of the year, and so we're inviting y'all to come out to the Fusion 49th District meeting tonight at 6 p.m. at the Gulfport Neighborhood Center. We're going to get some updates from City of St. Pete and Gulfport as it relates to the funding that we've applied for transportation improvements along the corridor. So I think we'll have like the transportation department from both cities, public safety updates. It's going to be a real robust meeting. And if you can't come, we're actually going to do it live. So you'll be able to tap into the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club and you'll be able to see the meeting live tonight.
Okay.
As well. And then this weekend, let's show up for Big C's. The Black Money Movement is moving. And so we're continuing to put our dollars to work where it matters, supporting Black-owned businesses and strengthening our community. So Big C's Barbecue, that's this Saturday, February 7th at 12 p.m., 1039 Dr. MLK. Pull up hungry, bring your cash, and be ready to support the cash mob. And just continue to keep our foot up on the gas because somebody got to do it. Speaking of that, Kendrick Lamar has now surpassed Jay-Z as the rapper with the most Grammy awards.
Yeah,
so shout out to K-Dot.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So it's 9:00.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Sister Hughes.
Make you lose your shoes.
Shout all around the house.
This has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
And this is Qiana.
And I'm one and only Mr. Edmund.
And we out.
Bing, bing.